one's going to be there. You really need to quit acting like that. You're too old to act like that. Whatever. Did you really just do that? You're old enough to know better. The drama. How many of you have teenagers or have had teenagers in here? So, you know the struggle. From your end, of course. Because you could never understand the teenager's point of view. They're the only one going through any given situation at any given time. And you, parents, you could never possibly understand the turmoil and torments they're going through at any given time. Today, I'm going to let you in on my story, my teenage years. So I called my parents and asked them to give me words describing their life with me as a teenager. Now, when I say parents, I don't mean the typical set of two. It took two sets of two parents to raise me. Yeah, it took 4 of them. So the common word between 4 parents was challenging. Other words were nerve-wracking, heartbreaking, and interesting. But my favorite one was never. That was my stepdad, because it's an experience he would never want to experience again. While I can relate to each word that my parents described, the one that I relate to the most was heartbreaking. Those years for me were dark, lonely, depressing. I craved to be accepted by my peers. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be understood. So eventually, I would find my place exactly where I wanted to be. I was loved. I was expected. I was accepted. But most of all, I was understood. While I loved being in that place, of course, it was with people my parents didn't approve of. On one beautiful summer day, July 21st of 1995, I accepted the offer of my friends to drive a vehicle, unlicensed and very inexperienced. We always hear it only takes one time. Only this time, it didn't lead to pregnancy, it led to paralysis. I was involved in a single vehicle accident that left me completely paralyzed. That evening, I would wake up in the hospital. I would wake up amongst beeps, lights, doctors. What's going on? It wasn't long before they broke the news to me and said, Jamie, you've been in an accident and you sustained a spinal cord injury. This means you'll never walk again. And from where your neck was injured, you'll probably never breathe on your own again either. Wow. Could you imagine hearing those words for the first time? While it was very hard hearing that, I knew that I would have to find my place once again. Only this time it probably wouldn't be so easy. But I did. I went back to high school 6 weeks after returning home from the hospital. I graduated a year and a half later and decided to go to college, where I was a typical college student. And I can assure you, I wasn't the typical college student that you find sitting in the library studying all the time. I was the typical college student that stayed on the party scene every weekend, but maintained the 3.75 GPA, so I didn't do too bad. Now, through all of these times, from between here and there, I've had several adventures, but I've learned to find them, take them as life lessons. And I'm going to let you in on one of the funniest of the many. How many of you like going to the dentist? Free toothbrushes, floss, Sometimes
We don't even get that.
sometimes mouthwash was a pretty good incentive when I was a kid. But now it's pretty dreadful. So one day I go to the dentist. I have to get dental work done. The doc numbs my mouth, does the necessary procedure, and I said, "Doc, can I have the straw?" Now the straw is how I control the chair. The doc hands me the straw. I grab it with my mouth, and it did a little something like this. Yeah. Air. Couldn't go anywhere. My mouth was numb. So in my best NASA voice, I said, "Doc, we have a problem." So he says, "Are you okay?" Well, of course I'm okay, but my mouth is numb and I need to steer my chair. So we all fell out laughing, but his genius idea was to take the already used straw, replace it with a new one, and I was going to give him the commands to drive the chair out of the office and into the van. I convinced him that that probably wasn't the best idea because I am pretty good at putting holes in walls, and we would have probably taken an entire wall out if that was the case. So then the ultimate happened. They had to disengage my brakes so they could push the chair. So once again, I had taken advantage of my ability to get around, and it was taken away. But it was fun, and we all run into lessons like this. And if we just embrace each of those challenges as a lesson learned, we'll laugh instead of cry. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.